Mama, forgive me. I must sell your hair to make money. This hair is going to make me rich today. This my mother's hair is smelling. But all I need is money. I don't care.
Take this smelly hair and get me money.
All right, here you go.
My hair, my life, everything. I am finished. Where is my hair? I am finished. I am finished. My hair, my life, all I had is gone.
Did you see Nneka's hair? It's all gone. What happened? Her son is a thief. He shaved her hair and sold it.
They say a man should never raise his hand against his mother. They also say some things in life should never be touched. But Obinna touched what should never be touched. He shaved his mother's hair while she was asleep, and before the next sunset, she was gone. This is not just a story about hair. It is a story about greed, betrayal, and a punishment that followed a man for the rest of his life. In Umudike village, there lived an old woman called Nneka. Nneka was a quiet woman. She did not talk too much. She did not fight with anyone. She minded her small farm and her only son. But one thing made people talk about her. Her hair. Nneka's hair was very long. It was thick, black and shiny. It touched the ground when she stood. No one had ever seen her hair cut before. From childhood, her hair had grown like that. Year after year, it only grew longer. The village women often whispered when she passed, "Why has she never cut her hair? Is it not too heavy? Is there a secret behind it?" But Nneka never answered anyone. She only smiled and walked away. Nneka had only one child, a son called Obinna. Obinna was 32 years old. He was strong but unlucky. Everything he touched failed. He farmed, but his crops dried. He learned a trade, but customers did not come. He tried business, but money left his hands quickly. They were very poor. Sometimes they slept without food. Sometimes Obinna felt deep shame when he saw his mates driving motorcycles and building houses. Inside his heart, anger was growing. Why am I suffering like this? He asked himself. Why is my life like this? At first, he respected his mother. He loved her. She was the only person who cared for him. But poverty is a dangerous thing. Slowly, it changes the heart. One afternoon, a strange man came to Umudike village. The man was a trader from the city. He carried bags and spoke big grammar. He sat under a tree and talked loudly. Women's hair is very expensive in the city. Long natural hair brings big money. When Obinna heard this, his ears opened. He moved closer. The man continued, "Some people make their fortune from hair alone." Obinna's heart beat fast. At once, his mind went to his mother, to her long hair. That night, Obinna could not sleep. He lay on his mat, turning from side to side. His eyes were open in the dark. He remembered the trader's words. He remembered his empty pockets. He remembered his shame. Then he looked at his mother. Nneka was sleeping peacefully. Her long hair spread on the floor like a river. A dangerous thought entered his mind. It is just hair. It will grow back. She will not even know. His heart warned him to stop, but greed shouted louder. Very late in the night, Obinna stood up. He picked a sharp blade. His hands were shaking. As he moved close to his mother, something strange happened. The wind suddenly blew into the hut. The oil lamp flickered. Dogs in the village started howling. Obinna paused. Fear touched his heart. But instead of stopping, he continued. Slowly, quietly, he shaved his mother's hair. As the blade touched her hair, tears fell from his eyes, but he did not stop. When he finished, Nneka's head was bare. He wrapped the hair in cloth and hid it. Before morning, he left the house. Obinna sold the hair to the trader. The trader smiled and paid him good money. For the first time in a long time, he felt happy. He bought food, he bought clothes, he walked with pride. He forgot his fear. That morning, Nneka woke up. She tried to stand, but her body was weak. She touched her head. Her hands met bare skin. She screamed, "My hair, my hair!" She she felt dizzy and sat down. Obinna rushed Ma. Nne, what is wrong? He asked, pretending. Nneka looked at him deeply. Her eyes were full of pain. My son, she said softly, what have you done? Obinna could not speak. Tears filled his eyes. Nneka held his hand and spoke with her last strength. My son, this hair is not ordinary. It is my life. She took a deep breath. When I gave birth to you, death came for me. But the Spirit gave me this hair as a covenant. As long as it stays, I live, and you are protected. She took a deep breath. The day it is cut, I must go. Before sunset that same day, Nneka died. Quietly, just like that. The village cried. The elders shook their heads. Obinna sat beside her body and screamed, but it was too late. He buried her with his own hands. After her burial, strange things started happening. The money Obinna made disappeared. Some was stolen, some was lost. He became sick. Every night he saw his mother in his dreams. She stood far away, touching her head. He tried to walk, but nothing succeeded. People avoided him. Women refused to marry him. Children mocked him. Years passed. Obinna became poor, thin, and lonely. Sometimes he would sit by the roadside talking to himself. He would cry and say, I sold my mother for money. No one answered him.
As time went on, Obinna's condition became worse. He continued sitting by the roadside, the same spot where people passed every day. He talked to himself loudly. Sometimes he laughed without joy. Sometimes he cried and called his mother's name. People who passed by shook their heads and said, he has lost his senses. There was a mad woman who owned a small spot near the road. She used the place to keep old items and scraps. Obinna always sat there because it was shaded. At first, she ignored him, but one day she shouted at him angrily. Leave this place, she screamed. You will not sit here again. She chased Obinna away with insults and stones. Obinna ran weakly, barefoot, dust covering his body. He did not fight back. He only cried and begged her to let him stay, but she refused. With nowhere to go, Obinna began to sleep near dustbins. He lay on torn cartons and old clothes. The smell was terrible. Flies covered his body. Dogs barked at him at night. Sometimes people poured dirty water near him without looking twice. Even there, he did not find peace. Shop owners chased him away. Drivers insulted him. Children threw stones and laughed. He was chased from one place to another like an animal. Obinna had no home, no respect, no rest. His frustration grew beyond words. One night, under heavy darkness, Obinna remembered his mother clearly. He remembered her voice. He remembered her sacrifices. He remembered the hair he shaved. With the little strength left in him, Obinna walked slowly to his mother's grave. He fell flat on the ground. He cried like a child. He screamed until his voice broke. He begged his mother for forgiveness. He promised never to be greedy again. He promised to suffer forever if only she would forgive him. But nothing happened. No voice, no sign, no comfort, only silence. Obinna realized the truth too late. His mother could not forgive him anymore, not because she was wicked, but because life does not always give second chances after death. He stayed at the grave till morning, crying until his tears dried. When the sun rose, he looked weak and empty. Something inside him broke forever. From that day, Obinna lived like a shadow. He wandered, he begged, he helped people quietly. He spoke less. His punishment was not death. His punishment was living with regret. And the village learned a painful lesson. Moral lessons. Greed destroys what love builds. Some things are sacred and must never be sold. A mother's sacrifice is not for profit. When advice comes early, listen. Regret comes late. Forgiveness has a time limit. Death closes some doors forever. Wealth gained through betrayal never brings peace.